Welcome to On Point, 100-point edition, Vance Kentucky Derby Championship Series. Can't say the 50-point races are totally over. Got one next week with the Spiral, but we are into the 100-point portion of the season. UAE Derby, Louisiana Derby. What do you make of this group as we go into the brass tacks?
It's a very interesting group and wide open too. We got a horse like Meydan, who's the Derby favorite down in Florida. It's a very contentious field for this weekend's TwinSpires.com Louisiana Derby. West Coast horses are still very competitive, so it looks like a very interesting group going forward.
Yeah, I think, we know who sort of is ascended to the top. We have two undefeated, multiple graded stakes winner. One of them's the champion from last year. But we haven't really seen a lot of shipping. We haven't seen these horses face each other, but that's definitely going to happen over the next few weeks. We have Nyquist shipping in. I won't say two-face Meydan, but he's going to have to if he wants that $1 million bonus. We have Greenpoint Crusader coming to the Louisiana Derby. We've had Baffer in Arkansas several times already. I'm sure we'll see him again. So definitely plan on learning a lot over the next few weeks. It starts with the UAE Derby. Not sure how much we'll need to learn about that group. It'll depend on who wins. But Lonnie and Frank Conversation certainly are two we could see in the Derby, Polar River and the Oaks. Louisiana Derby, though, certainly a big one. Some of these horses, this might not even be their final start for the Kentucky Derby with 6 weeks to go. But I would say for the Louisiana-based horses, Gun Runner, Mo Tom, Forever Mo, this is probably it. I liked what I saw in the Risen Star. Those are the three I want most in the Louisiana Derby. I really need a dream bet winner. For me, it's Gun Runner. Who are you going with?
The Louisiana Derby is kind of a tough race to handicap for me, just because what do you make of the Risen Star? You had Mo Tom and Gun Runner running on an inside favoring track in the Risen Star. I mean, what's your kind of takeaway from that race? I mean, do you discount Gun Runner a little bit because he had that favorable trip on the inside? Do you discount Mo Tom a little bit? Do you elevate the horses that got beat badly in the Risen Star because they were racing on an outside part of the track that wasn't favorable? I'm just kind of going to throw the race out a little bit to make things easier for myself. I'm picking Greenpoint Crusader in the Louisiana Derby. I thought his race against Bohemian in the Holy Bull was very good, considering he was up close to a slow pace, not his preferred kind of trip. I saw enough of him last fall in the Champagne Stakes to think that he has a pretty good 3-year-old race in him. He's by Bernardini out of a crypto clearance mare. I think he can get a distance. Some people have been saying he's more of a one-turn closer. I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt for one more race, and I'm going to go with Greenpoint Crusader over the fairgrounds-based horses.
All right. Well, I don't even think you need to throw out the Risen Star to go with him. As you said, the race against Meydan was fine. I mean, no match for that horse, but he's number one on so many people's lists. There's no shame in that. So good luck, but I am sticking with the locals in this case. To me, I go back to Gun Runner taking so much money in the second future wager when the Triple Crown noms came out before he had started as a 3-year-old. Just seems like there's a lot of confidence there. He went off at 5-1, but had a lot of people backing him in the Risen Star. I wasn't one of them, so maybe this is a funeral wedding scenario. But to me, I thought the race was good, and he was the one who actually won it. Mo Tom, again, going to be closing. He'll have a lot to do, but I think he'll do it. He seems to run his race. You mentioned what do you do with the horses who were beaten badly. To me, they've been behind Mo Tom every time. At some point, you just got to say they're not good enough, even though you are getting a bigger price. But I'll let them beat me because they've been beaten before regularly. So definitely sticking with the Louisiana horses. Going to try to use them all in the Maltese, but on top, it's Gun Runner for me.
Yeah, I agree with that sentiment about the horses beaten behind Mo Tom and Gun Runner in the Risen Star. Typically, like you've said, they haven't risen to the occasion in any of the previous two preps. And bias aside in the Risen Star, I do like Gun Runner and Mo Tom in this race, but I'm just going to try and beat them this time with the outsider, thinking that maybe the East Coast-based horses are better than the ones based in Louisiana this winter.
All right, well, that's part of what we learn with these 100-point races, so we'll certainly see who's right. And you'll get to see an East Coast versus West Coast showdown next week. You'll be live at Gulfstream Park for the Florida Derby. We'll talk a little bit more about that in Turf Talk next week, but I'm sure you're looking forward to that trip.
Absolutely looking forward to it. Enjoy some sunshine and see Gulfstream Park for the first first time since it was remodeled about 10 years ago, so it'll be a new thing for me. It's not an actually new track on my list. I was there about 20 years ago, but new version Gulfstream. It should be fun.
All right, well, we'll look forward to your thoughts on the race and on the plant, and we'll talk to you next week for Turf Talk.